Hello guys, how are you doing? How are you doing, YouTube? Casper here, the 18th of August with a uranium update. Miners down under. Usually I do them, at least in the last period of time here, I do them on the SOXX. I decided to release this on YouTube as well. So again, if you want to follow me, you know it's at uselink.inv. That goes for Twitter, that goes for YouTube and Substack. Check it out on Substack. You can easily unsubscribe if you don't like the content. And why do I bring up uranium and miners in Australia? I have actually quite a big following in Australia, so they always, are very glad when I post these uranium updates. Obviously, for the past long time, it seems we have uranium has been hammered a lot. A lot of the stocks are down 50%, some even more, and yeah, that's not fun to be, sitting in those. But if we go back to the 2006, 7, 8 run up, even from the 2004, we actually had 40% plus corrections in URA, and yeah, this is one of them in my opinion. It does look a little bit sketchy here, but again, there's also some bullish stuff there. We are still in an overall commodity bull market, and I think that it has a long way to go. One of the risks, obviously, for uranium now is that if oil starts to crash, uranium will definitely have it difficult to do the opposite, going up. But let's dive into the miners in Australia and let's see where we are. Cheers. Let's have a look. We will cut that out. Pretty cool. So first off, we have age. That is the Alligator Energy Limited. You can see here, just like we have come down 60% at the lowest point. Now we're only down half. So getting crushed here again, you can see from the past, we were actually down 75% and then we rallied again. But big moment in time here back in September 2020. That's when uranium really started to move. High move up there, and ever since we have basically gone sideways. And this right here is a mix. This moving average is a mix of the 50, 100, and 200 moving average. So what you can see here for the past 3 years is basically bullish consolidation. Yes, I know at the moment it sounds, not that, because we have been hit so hard, but you can see that actually we are forming a beautiful 1 to 5 elite wave correction here. And we are getting a bounce at the lower here. Notice the sideways action from that moving average. It is, the highest likelihood that we are going to break at some point in time there to the upside following the trend. So yeah, alligator here again. If we get any sort, this is the weekly, by the way, any sort of bullish behavior here is actually a good thing. Stop below there. But again, if we break, that's the entry. And to you people who bought that, low there, congratulations. It's a very good risk reward. Again, the stop loss is easy to place. So overall, from a long-term perspective, I know people want to hear this one going to the moon tomorrow. It's probably not. Again, we still have a lot of work to do here. So we're looking for 2024 to do basically grind it out here within that wedge before eventually going higher. Again, if we start to drop below there, that is a huge risk or a huge telling that maybe we are incorrect here. But yeah, Bannerman also at major support. And again, we are down. We are down 50% from the highs. But again, look where we are in time. We just have a big support and resistance trend line here at roughly 2.3, give or take. And you can see that we are hitting that, getting a tiny bounce here. I want to switch to Heiken Nash because it's more easy to see from your side on the screen. So we are hitting it here with support, and There's just a lot of things going on here at roughly 2.3. Golden trend line here is also roughly here. Yes, we are a bit below here, but when you get these extended moves to the downside, you know, typically, again, this is still okay. Soon insanely oversold on the weekly. You can see here, the last time we started to rally. We rallied over here, and now we're probably going to rally over here. Looking at the daily on Bannerman, good old Banny, that's a brutal drop, by the way. But you can see here bullish divergence on the RSI. I'm expecting a bounce. Will it be enough to overcome and go higher? We shall see. The best likelihood would be if we are to do something like that, correct? With a bottoming pattern there. But again, we need to see basically September also if that is the case. But we need to make a pop here. Otherwise, this is a potential bear flag in the making. However, yeah, I'm not going to go into that. I think we are just so stretched. We are so down that I would think that we are going to see at least a little pop there in the Bannerman, in the good old Banny. BOE, that's the Boss Energy. Look at the red uptrend that we have here. It's just every time we hit it, we are getting rejected every single time. And let's see if we can make it a copy to see if it fits anywhere else. I'll take it, that's fine. You can see here also for Boss Energy, we are into a huge support and resistance zone here. A little bit more on the shorter term time frame. Again, it's only in quotes goes back three to 4 years, but you can see here that between 2.8 and roughly 3.1, we have huge support and resistance zone here. For now, we're above, therefore we have support. Let's see the day. Do we have anything going on there? I have actually, oh yes, I have this topping there, the head and shoulders pattern. And you can see when we dropped here, the measured move were $3. We basically hit it here. So again, this pattern here alone has reached its target. So hopefully we can resume the uptrend. And let's see here. That is probably the first kind of a thing that we need to overcome, basically. There it is. That's the teal, a purple downtrend right there. That's the one we need to take out. If we can clear that, we have an entry. Stop below there. Again, you need to do what feels really bad here, and that's to go against the grain. One guy that I know on Twitter that is really good at buying these support and resistance trend lines or zones is Blake. Check him out. Again, I'm trying to copy some of his work and take it into also what I do, because I found, if I find it really, really effective. Again, shout out to Blake here. I hope I'm doing this right. If not, it is what it is. But again, it's definitely worth noting here that we are into a big support and resistance zone there. And if we break that purple downtrend here, then we are definitely, at least the downtrend is over. And then probably we need to do, like a lot of sideways action before we can then go higher. So again, August, September is definitely, where uranium needs to do a lot of hard work and prove itself to the upside. CXU, yes, I said it correct. Again, we have a big support and resistance zone here at 0.08, but for now, it doesn't matter, right? Because we are at 0.02. 0.02, yep, I said it correctly. Look at that golden trend line here. We broke, and we're basically retesting right now. This was really bullish. We had that bullish pennant there. Obviously, it broke down, and you can see just it is just getting killed, right? Do we have a fib here? Actually, I want to check that. Okay. So we do have the lower fib here. Does it make sense on the, yeah, okay, cool, makes sense. We are at a fib here, but usually when you get below the 0.5, which by the way is not a fib, but again, it's a big psychological level, that's when you start to see some deeper retracements here. But we are at a fib here, and yeah, let's go to the daily. we have a similar teal trend line here, excuse me, channel there, and we want to break that. We have it right there. We want to break that to the upside. That's really what we need to do. A little bit of a bear flag there, grinding before breaking down, retesting, huge collapse, testing the triangle low here, rolling over, and in my opinion, this could be done for that move, the 1 to 5 move there. It seems to be over, excuse me. And also double bottom here at the teal, excuse me, the golden support. Yes, we're a bit below, but depending on how you draw the trend lines, usually when you go this far back, you can actually see here it doesn't even line up anymore. So we should maybe put it down a bit here. But you can see on the weekly here, we have the alignment. So again, going that far back, usually it's not perfect. But again, double bottom here, positive RSI. From that move to here, you can see it there. There it is. And then you have this small higher high there with a double bottom. So again, momentum is drying out. Does that mean that we are going to go up from here? No, but it's a good indicator that again, the bears don't have much more ammo to push it down, and we are down 70%. So again, this is a very small uranium company, by the way, but again, we are at golden support, which is usually where we see, this is a big retest of a 10-year trend line. We should have support here. We should have support right there. Again, just my opinion. Deep yellow also, together with everything else, of course, is down 50%. Again, 50%. That's huge. Golden trend line is here. That's the big breakout where we broke out in 2023, retesting, rising wedge, and now we are retesting that again. We can zoom in on the daily for you. And you can see here we are getting a tiny bounce here. Again, could we have a move down to roughly 0.84? Yes, we could, but that's probably the lowest we can go. Again, nothing is set in stone, but again, then we are at least retesting that long-term golden trend line. Once again. So yeah, but also you can see the breakdown here. You can see the retest of the wedge pattern. Down we came. So we have 3 impulses here in that small move. But again, it should be over. The RSI stays the same. Again, lower lows there, almost the RSI at 30. Not bullish divergence, but again, we are definitely seeing some exhaustion in the sellers. Huge downtrend though. The moving average is also coming down, so we need to start to make the move to the upside. Again, August, September will be 2 very important months for uranium, that is for sure. Why was that gone, by the way? Why was that gone? So long-term golden trend line, you can just see the perfection of that. We tagged it there, breakdown, peak above, false breakout, again, false breakout. So it's just toying here with the golden trend line. We can zoom in here and just see, oh, I removed too much. Excuse me. I removed too much, but we can add that in again, no problem. There it is. Cool. So we are zooming in on the daily. On the daily, you can see here we have basically, ever since 2021, the peak, we have gone sideways, and sideways. And we do have a bit of a support zone here. It goes a little bit there again. Not the perfect support and resistance zone, but it is definitely there. Look at that compression there into the summer of 2023 where we rallied. That is a huge wedge pattern there. Also here, note the breakdown there, the retesting, and then just more or less complete collapse. How far down are we from that high there? We were down 60, now only 50. Still massive downward moves here. But again, you can see that we are at support here. It is hanging by a thread, I will give it that. Sometimes you can go to the log scale and maybe you have some supports that goes back. No, not really. Sometimes you can connect different trend lines. That is of importance when we have dropped this far, but not this time around. Again, you can also note here double bottom here. There should be a move in the making here. Will it be enough to overcome the downward pressure? We shall see. We shall see for Elevate. GUE has just been murdered. Again, this is a 14 million. So whenever things go bad in the sector, the small and more speculative guys will get thrown out. There's nothing bullish about this other than if we get down to the March 2020 lows, I'm expecting a bounce there. Until then, we are probably going to collapse down to there. And yeah, nothing good to write home about for GUE. We have 4 more to go. Again, this is a bit more tricky, this one here. I don't have a lot going on. It's very difficult to predict anything. You can see here, if we take the lows here, that basically we have broken down from that. I think this is the one where if you go to the regular scale, you have support, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I just looked at it before I went online, so I'm cheating a bit here, but you can see here on a not block scale, regular scale, we are at a major support down here and there, going back to the March 2020 lows. We should see a bounce here. On the Heikin-Ashi weekly candles, we have just seen red across the board, steep angle, oversold on the weekly. You can see here again, we were actually down below 20 on the RSI. That is extremely, extremely bearish. And also over here, you were at 20, and then we started to rally. What do we have when we go back to the March 2020? Yes, you have 20 once again. So 20 here, you can see, seems to be the low on the RSI for the daily, on the daily. So yeah, this one you would not catch if you were looking at the log scale. You can see it here. We basically are not able to connect anything of importance if we take the lows here. Do we have anything? Maybe something going on. Yeah, maybe we actually do. You can see here this internal stuff here. Support. So yeah, we do have some support on the log scale as well. We actually do. I didn't see that one until now. So again, I'm expecting a bounce here. We are getting a bounce here, but I'm expecting that this could morph into something bigger. Paladin, good old Paladin, who has recently bought up Fission Uranium. Again, the deal, it may be good, it may be not, I don't know. That's not what, I do. It's purely technical. Long-term golden trend line from the highs of 2007 into the highs of 2021. Look at that bull flag just below, breaking out, and then we came all the way up to 18 on the charts. But where are we now? Because we are down heavily from that top. We were down roughly 46 at some point. Now only, in quotes, only 40%. So again, here we are at this big support and resistance zone between 9.5 and 10.5. And you can see we're getting a little bit of a bounce here. Not much, but it is definitely there. Do we have any channel that we can add in here? Yeah, cool. Let's add it in here. We do have a tiny channel here that we can work off. And that's basically what we need to, to undo. So we need to get back above the golden trend line here. For now, this is just a retest, but we need to get back above and into that pocket, right up here. Then we have some momentum in the PDN, the Paladin Energy. Penn has also been, it's a fan favorite. I know a lot of people knows that the fundamentals of Peninsula is really, really good. Again, I don't know the details, but I know that people are really bullish on what they have in the ground. And but for now, here we have nothing to celebrate. We did have some hopes here within that blue triangle, but we came down here hard, and I'm expecting that we ought to find support down here at 0.065, which is also a major buying opportunity if we get there. Actually, 0.06. That's the March 2020 lows. If we get there, again, from a risk-reward perspective, is actually not that bad. It's a bigger-ish company. It's 300 million. So again, here, for now, extremely bearish here. When are we bullish? let's say, two things. We come down to here, we start to move. That is a perfect picture. Or if we false breakdown here, then start to rally. But for now, downtrend on the weekly, the daily. I would assume also the monthly doesn't look too good. No, it does not. So yeah, nothing much to write home about. But I'm expecting a bottom somewhere between 0.075 and all the way down to 0.06. I'm expecting that. It doesn't mean that it's going to get there. Okay, here we have SLX. That's the Silex Systems. Look at the rally, by the way, of the Silex. It has just been on a tear from 0.17 to $6. It has rallied 3,500%. That's a good investment. That's a pretty damn good investment. But where are we now? Is there more juice to be told? I think that there is. Again, this one actually performed. This was the peak from the overall uranium market in 2021. And basically ever since, we have just been grinding it higher, right? So when you have a stock that is really bullish in a downturn, so when you get the upturn or the resumption, the bullish back into that sector, the stronger guys should do well, really well. You can also see here we have come down, of course, down only, again, you can see the divergence here. It's only down roughly 40%, where the others were 50, 60, and even 70%. Support and resistance zone here, somewhere between 4 and 4.4. Also, we are right there at the golden uptrend. So what do we need to see here to become really bullish again here on the SLX? Again, if we can break the green downtrend, that's when you get the entry. In this case, right now, as we speak, it will be probably at around 4.5 or so. Stop should be below that pivot there, because you will lose the golden again. You will lose the support zone and all that. But again, great risk reward. Even if you want to trade it back to the highs, potentially, again, potentially, who knows? Let's say we enter there, you can see the risk reward. You will have the stop roughly around here. Let's say you have a 5-to-1. So again, here, the risk reward here is getting in our favor. The RSI, the bullishness, you can see it there, the bullish divergence on the RSI. Not too shabby, not too shabby at all. You can also see here the monthly is still it's not oversold, but it is in the more bullish territory, basically at 60 right now. So it's still strong, and we shall see how high it can go. These homemade ETFs, they are definitely not in sync anymore, because I haven't updated them in a very long time. So I will not dive into that. But I think the name of the game for the uranium miners is we are seeing a slowdown in the momentum. We are seeing some resilience here. Will that be enough to make us, see the momentum to the upside? There are some risks. The risks are, if you have, again, more overall downturn in the markets, that will push it down. If you have oil to collapse, or to come down hard again, that will, of course, always be bad for uranium. That's the energy sector. The positives are, if potentially now we are seeing a top in the gold to silver ratio. If we start to come down really hard there, the overall mining sector, and that's including uranium, will perform really good, because that is the big name of the game in the mining sector, the gold to silver ratio. That's the one I am looking at, and I think you should too, because when you have silver outperforming heavily gold, that is really good for the gold miners, silver miners, uranium miners, copper miners, and all that. I think I've made a video on that on YouTube. I know for sure I've done it on the Substack. So the markets in Australia is opening in roughly 3 hours, I think, and we shall see if we will be in for a good start of the week or not. But again, it's only one day. But yeah, let's see. I'm really excited to see gold how it performs. It closed really strong this Friday at $2,500. Incredible. And yeah, we shall see, guys. Again, if you like the content, please subscribe and all that good stuff, guys. Or like. And comment below if you have any questions, any similarities, or you do agree, do disagree. I would love to talk, about trading, because that's what we're here for, to make money, and hopefully we will be more right than wrong. Have a great day, guys. Have a great trading week, investment week, whatever you want to call it. Cheers, guys.